Dr. Murphy, please help me welcome to the stage Nicholas Kahn playing Rachmaninoff's Prelude in G minor.
Great work with this very tricky, iconic, amazing prelude. I think if Rachmaninoff was here, his mic would fall off too. I mean, there's no way. That's part of the deal. So you've made a lot of interesting choices with like tempo and things like that. I'm just curious, how did you arrive at those decisions?
That's a really good question. I wish I knew the answer. I kind of just, I don't know, the slow parts felt slow and the fast parts felt faster.
Okay. Yeah. So I would think about that. First we have to honor the composer, right? But then we have a lot of choices that we can make. But I think it's always good to have a good reason for it. I want to talk about actually some touch things that might give you a little bit of help with some of these really tricky places. Let's go back to the beginning, actually. This whole prelude is really an exploration of a variety of different types of touches and colors and contrast. So let's go from the beginning, and I'm going to slow you down just a little bit, okay?
Okay.
So let's go about yum, bum, 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 bum. But it probably will feel slow. That's fine. Just go with it, okay? I'm going to kind of be your metronome over here. Ready?
Oh.
And. That's great. Already you look a little easier. That's wonderful. So you have this voice and the top voice. Can you feel like the bottom voice, which is the actual melody, yum, bum, bum, can you feel like you're playing all the way into the bottom of the keys, even though it's soft, and even though there's that little staccato mark, but you're still playing all the way through it, okay, getting to the very bottom of the key bed. Try that once more, please.
That's not right.
Great. So it's okay if you don't know the answer to this. Where do you feel like your energy is coming from in those strokes? Is your energy coming from your hands? Is it coming from your arms? Is it coming from your little toe? Where do you feel like the source of that energy is?
I think it's kind of like my forearm and my fingers.
Okay. Can you try to experience this as the center of your energy? Okay, I'm going to ask you a science question. Now, I only know it because I got this wrong. So when someone asks me, I got it wrong. So can you point to the part of your body where your arm starts? Where is the beginning of your arm? Where does your arm attach to the rest of your body? Yeah, most people would say here. I said it too the first time I was asked this question. It's actually here. Skeletally, this is where the arm attaches. It attaches right here, and you can actually feel the two little bones there. So I'm not talking about muscles and all this, just the skeleton. So in a very literal structural way, your torso, your sternum, is your source of strength, okay? So just be aware of that, so that it's not coming from here, but it's actually coming from here, okay? So take a breath and let that connect your arm to your sternum, and let's try from the beginning one more time. Feel it. I know this is a very abstract idea. You physically can't see it. You're not going to sit here and play a note with with this. But feel as though this is where your strength comes from, okay? Let's go again. I'm going to keep you pretty under tempo. Yum, bum, 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 bum. Whenever you're ready. you can pause there. Do you hear a difference in your sound?
I do. It's a lot more like full and.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I do.
Do you like that sound? I think that's a marvelous sound. That sounds like we're at Carnegie Hall and someone is performing this piece. That's kind of what I would imagine it would sound like at the beginning. Keep that. That was brilliant, Nicholas, and bravo to you for making that change so quickly. It's, again, guys, it's mental. It's like he didn't need to spend 2 hours practicing that. Just a complete redirection of thought and like, okay, where am I experiencing this from? And you were able to adapt. Okay, let's do this. If we analyze the basic stroke of the piano, right? I'm going to play a note. What all does it take to play a note? I think, best I can tell, Thomas may correct me later, the engineer in the room, but I'm going to kind of get into a little science for a second. There is a combination of speed and weight. Okay? Everything that you do, every note that you ever play, is some combination of how fast do I play it down. I'm not talking about tempo, just the speed at which your finger depresses the key. How fast and how much weight goes into it. Okay? So that's, again, we can analyze every note, I believe, with those two ideas. So this beginning, would you think that you have more weight or more speed?
Weight, definitely, because
it
has to be quiet.
Yeah, it needs to be quiet. I think actually we probably have a lot of speed too, and you did that just then, so you can get that really crisp sound. But let's try both ways. So let's try the beginning with more weight, and let's see what we like. Okay, this is like a little field experiment. So by weight, I don't mean degrees of loudness or softness, more just the feeling of or then the opposite of that, no weight and all speed would be more ya. Okay, so let's try with weight. Okay, now let's try it again. Don't change the dynamic, but just change the touch. Let's change it to all speed and not as much weight. Okay, and let's pull out our math brain for a minute, which is really scary for me to say that. I'd never say that again in front of a group of people. Let's say maybe 30% weight and 70% speed. Okay? So not all or nothing, but some weight, but more speed for this opening. Still, I'm going to hold you back, okay? I know you can do it, but just for the sake of feeling this experiment, let's go about yum, ba, ba, bum, bum, ba. Maybe more weight with this crescendo. More weight. Da, 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 ba, da, da. Now hold it back. Yes, my friend. Now, I know in the moment this is like, oh my gosh, the eyes of the world are fixed upon me, and this random guy is asking me to do all this stuff, and now we're talking about science. I'm doing this so that I don't have to talk about science. But go back, and it's wonderful that you guys have all this technology here. Go back and watch that and compare and see what you like. I think you'll find that that's the sound that you want to go with. Now, let's find an opposite type of section. Let's go to the B section, where we get all, this is where it gets all soft and kind of pretty in the middle. Here, I think we change to more weight and less speed. And by weight, you could also say heaviness. It's like, it's almost as though the key bed doesn't go here, but it goes all the way into the ground, and you're just, okay? So can we start right on that measure? Is that comfortable for you to start there?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So let's actually just play one chord. Why don't we just play that chord and then a D? So what I want you to do, I want you to play this and then whatever, that. Just those notes. Yum, that. We're taking it out of context. Super weighty. Good. Now can you take a breath and go, yum, bum. Good. Now we can go even further. Okay, it's been a really long day at school. You had like 4 tests. You finally get home to the end of the day and you collapse on your couch. Okay, now when I do that, I don't do this. No, it's like, right? So that type of feeling in those notes, just all of you collapses, all of your weight. It's not tension. It is the absence of tension. It is total release into the keys. Okay? So same thing. D, chord. Yes. Now can you do that in a pianissimo dynamic? Yeah. Now I'm glad actually that came up, guys. Dynamics. I know we have to start here, but when when we start taking, when we're 6, 7 years old, we learn pianissimo is super soft. Piano is soft. It's basically degrees of loudness, right? But very quickly you learn that's not the case. Like every piano is not the same, right? Different pianos. So I like to think of dynamics as colors or even characters. So you have the character of pianissimo, but this is not the same type of pianissimo as in Mozart, right? You have all the energy of Rachmaninoff and all the character of these kind of weird tonalities in the space of a pianissimo. So let's actually go with the word attitude. So the attitude of a pianissimo, maybe it's a little more like, I got something to tell you, right? Rather than, here it is. It's a little bit more concealed, but it's still the whole package, okay? So let's play around with that. Again, I'm going to hold you back a little bit on tempo. We're playing around with weight and the attitude of the pianissimo. Let's go about this tempo. Yum, yum, bum, bum, bum. Comes from your core. It comes from your core. Very good, Nicholas. In interest of time, I'll stop you there. I know we're just getting to the good part. But do you feel a difference in that?
I do.
What is the difference that you feel?
It feels like it's less. It's still just as heavy, but it's not like. It's not super loud or obnoxious. It's just like it's very just.
Does it feel easier?
Not really.
Well, you looked easier. So if it didn't feel easier, sit with it a little bit, okay? Stay with it. But I will tell you, what I saw even your shoulders go a little bit lower, which is, we all tend to hold tension somewhere. Many of us, it's here, but I saw yourself kind of relax into it a little bit. Guys, this is a thing. What is the absence of tension, right? Oftentimes people think that we would never say tension is a good thing, but if we really feel something, maybe we're holding tension because we feel it. The absence of that is not a feeling, it's the absence of a feeling. I said this, I think, to Clayton at first, that it's like you're not actually doing it. You're just sort of letting it happen. You're watching it happen. You're this sort of person over the piano and your hands are doing this thing. It's not even you doing it. Okay, switching gears for a little bit, and then I'm probably going to have to stop this in just a moment. Other than all the technical aspects of this piece, have you thought about, I don't know, a story or a picture or some kind of image of what this piece might be?
I have not.
That's okay. That's okay. It's never too late, okay? I would encourage you to write a story here, okay? Why don't we start one right now? We can kind of do it together. Maybe we'll make it easy. We're not going to make it a story. We're just going to make it an image, okay? A scene. So is it daytime or nighttime?
It's night.
It's nighttime, okay. Where are we? Are we here in Gulf Breeze? Are we in the mountains somewhere? Are we somewhere you've been perhaps? Why don't you pick our location?
We're in a cave.
We're in a cave. Okay, I like it. Can we actually see the night sky, or is it totally dark?
It's dark.
It's totally dark. Okay. I don't know if I'm liking it. Great. So, are you alone, or are there others with you?
There's other people.
You got other people with you. Okay. You don't have to name them right now, but maybe think about who is it that's with you. Okay. In this image. Now, are you guys just there, or are you exploring? Are you doing some kind of activity, or is it just you and some friends, you know, being crazy, exploring this cave?
Exploring the cave.
Exploring the cave. Okay. So then, obviously, a lot changes. The things that change. This is where I'm going to let you finish the story. Okay, on your own when you leave here. What's happening? Is it scary? Is it exciting? Is it a little? I'm not really sure what's happening. You know, when I round this corner. And then the other question is, are you the narrator, or are you in the story? Are you actually part of it, or are you telling us about it? So do you think you're in it? You've already kind of alluded that you are. Yeah, I think so. For this, I think you got to be. Now, this is what I would challenge you with. We often, guys, in music, separate technique and musicianship, or interpretation, or the storytelling aspect. I would like to suggest that the opposite should happen, that the story informs the technique. Literally, the technical choices you make are because of what you're trying to say here, right? Have you ever went to a recital and wanted to just say, "Oh wow, it was so great to watch your technique"?
No.
No, right? None of you guys came here to watch his technique, or hers, or Clayton's, or mine later, right? You want us to tell you something. You want us to, you know, whether it's a specific thing or a general thing, you want us to communicate with you. So start there. And I find that there's so much freedom in that. And then all of a sudden you have so many other choices that, yeah, it's got to be staccato and it's got to be piano, but also it's not about piano. It's about we're in this cave and a bat just flew over my head, or oh, what was that? So let's take the first line or two, and I don't want you to tell us what's happening, okay? But I want you to, in your mind, come up with an event. Okay, so here you and your friends are in this cave, or your family, whoever you're with, and what happens? Don't use words to tell me, use the piano to tell me, okay? All options are available.
Am I supposed to play it?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
No.
It's okay. I know this is so mean. I'm so sorry. But we all can't wait to hear what's going to happen in this cave. So whenever you have it, give us the first couple of lines. Yes. That's different. That's different. How was that for you?
It definitely felt different than just playing it normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Apply that to everything. And I know sometimes we have to say, all right, I got to spend 30 minutes figuring out how this passage works. I got to take the right hand, got to take the left hand. But don't stay there, right? Go back to your narrative. Go back to this thing that you have to tell everybody. Because you do, by the way, you have something to say with this piece that nobody else can say. Only you. You know, maybe neither of us will play this as Rachmaninoff did. You know, Rachmaninoff was an amazing pianist. But even you have something to say that Rachmaninoff didn't have to say. So think about that. And when you perform this in the competition or for your recital or even in your lesson, that's something that only you can do. And I find that to be so empowering, and I hope you do as well. All right, in conclusion, I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked everybody else. What is something that you do, you say with this piece that you love, that you're proud of?
Probably the tempo, being like slowing it down and speeding it up over and over again.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Nicholas. Congratulations.